Hi, and welcome back. I'm going to give you guys a quick update on what's going on in real estate. Hi, my name is Brittany Oveby. I'm an associate broker with RE/MAX in the Atlanta area, and each week I put together an analysis of what's happening with the housing market. So let's jump right in and let me show you guys a report that Realtor.com just put out a few days ago, and it's for data for the week ending October 29th, so the end of last week. They put out some information that's related to leading indicators so we can understand what's going on in this real estate market. The median list price is one of the leading indicators. It grew by 12%. So this is list price, not sales price. It grew by 12% over last year. It's the 44th week with a double-digit pace of growth of median list prices. However, the pace of growth shrank. So I have this in a chart. Let me show you real quick. This shows that each month it shows you that we were getting double-digit increases. We've had double-digit all year. This is year-over-year changes. Our all-time high was in June of this year, but since then, median list price has been decelerating. Price growth is decelerating. We're now at 425 compared to our all-time high of 449. And then the next piece of data that they talk about, let me go back, is new listings. So we want to measure what's happening with sellers putting their homes on the market. If we start to see this big influx of new listings coming on the market, that's actually a bearish signal because it could potentially cause prices to really start to tumble if we get a lot of active inventory related to new listings. But we are seeing this drop 13% from 1 year ago last week, and it's the 17th week in a row that we've had year-over-year declines in new listings. So the trend has just been falling inventory of new listings. So sellers are just not wanting to trade that 3 or 4% mortgage for a 7 or possibly 8% coming up soon if they have to buy at the same time that they sell. Active inventory is another leading indicator that Realtor.com reports on. Y'all, this was huge this week. Active inventory has been growing, and it increased 40% over the same week ending October 29th of 2021. That is huge. It's the third week that we've actually seen a really large increase week over week. So we are seeing a trend start here with active inventory, and this is related to rates. But let me go to this graph, and I'm going to show you new listings and active inventory. This orange line is the year-over-year change of new listings each week. And since July 9th, we've seen 17 straight weeks here. This is October 29th of new listings declining. So, not a lot of homes coming on the market for sale. So not a lot of new choices for buyers. But then we've seen active inventory where we started off in January really low at less than almost 30% off from last year. Starting May 7th is when we crossed over this line where we're starting to see inventory increase year over year. We've had 26 straight weeks of inventory climbing to where I just showed you that stat. We were 40% over last year. And I want to show you these percentages in a graph week over week. You'll notice that through July all the way to the end of September, we didn't have, each week we didn't have these big bumps. I mean, we were just kind of hanging out between this 29, 30, 27. It was kind of bouncing around 1 or 2 percentage points each week, plus or minus. But here we are in October, and every week in October we've seen a big increase. This wasn't too big, 30% to 31, but 31 to 33, 33 to 36, now to 40. So we are starting to see a trend. Now, as I said just a minute ago, active inventory, we don't have a lot of new listings coming on the market, so it's not because of new listings, it's because homes are taking longer to sell. Buyers are getting priced out of the market, the interest rate's going up, the affordability is just, we've seen rates go, let me show you mortgage rates, go from 3% to 7%. That's over 4 percentage points in less than a year. And the general rule of thumb is for every 1 percentage point increase in the rate, it decreases a buyer's purchasing power by 10%. So if we're at over 4 points, that's a decrease of 40% purchasing power for buyers right now. But I also want to take you to the Mortgage News Daily website. I want to talk about mortgage rates because that's what the big story was this week when the Federal Reserve met. And they did increase rates by 0.75%, but this article talks about how those two things are not they're fairly unrelated. And a lot of people don't realize that. It's the federal funds rate is what's being changed. That's what they're changing and increasing. And it applies to the overnight loans that these institutions have amongst each other. So we really want to look at what's happening with the 10-year Treasury, the yield on the 10-year Treasury bond, because that is going to really show us what's happening in mortgage rates. And the market had already kind of baked in. They knew that the Fed was going to increase rates by 3/4 of a point. So mortgage rates actually, they didn't go up too much the day that the Fed met. They actually went up a little bit over the last 24 hours. We're now at 7.29. We ended yesterday at 7.3, but prior to that, we were in the very low sevens. So they have gone up quite a bit just in the last few days. Now, I actually want to talk about just a overview of everything that I've just talked about, that in a summary of what's happening in this real estate market. I started talking about the median list prices, that the price growth is decelerating. So we are going to start to see that these are list prices. Now we're going to start to see home prices, the actual closed prices, are going to start going down. New listings, we are seeing huge declines in sellers wanting to put their home on the market, and strictly just because they know, the demand has softened, and buyers are, a lot of them have just been priced out of the market. Active inventory, big increase. Again, it's not from new listings. It's just because homes are taking longer to sell. And then with interest rates going up over 4 percentage points, it's really put a damper on buyer demand. It doesn't mean that you can't sell in this market. You definitely can. You're probably going to have to offer what's called a 2-1 buy down, so that the buyer's rate can be get them into the house at 2 percentage points less than what the market rate is in the first 12 months. And then the second year, you're 1% off. You're 1% less, and then you go back to that market rate for years 3 through 30. So there are creative ways for buyers to get a home and have it affordable, and for a seller to be able to sell. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I will keep you updated next week on what's going on. And again, if you got value out of this, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. I do spend a lot of time to put this together for you. And thank you for watching.